Damn it! Lenegis soldiers!
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Well, so much for them not wanting to fight.
Hold! I am Lord Dohalim of Elden Menencia. I command you.
The rest of the city must be erased.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not, if they want to fight, they got one.
Its armor's too strong.
Take this! Split it open!
Be my guest.
Glacial Spear! Pierce the evil! Freeze Lancer! Move in the sky if you want!
Dragon Dust! Raging Luna Storm! Soaring Light Spear! The flame inside me! Not today!
Mine!
Air Crusher!
Confiscated!
Dragon Form!
Here's a healing arc!
Remove!
Astral Energy!
Say no more.
I'll heal you all!
Heal! Dragon Swarm! Thanks!
Those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure. They just attacked without warning.
They weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's presence either.
Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies, nothing more. And yet, traditionally, Lenegis hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zeugles during experiments here and there, but not much else.
Their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met back in Ganath Haros. The ones in blind devotion to Volron.
I've never seen anything like that here on Lenegis before.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here, and the soldiers are their way of letting us know.
What with the Red Woman, the Sovereign, and Volron, we're starting to develop quite the growing list of adversaries. At least we'll know to keep our wits about us.
No choice!
Lightning!
Ignite!
Lightning Blade! Illuminate the dark!
Dragon Form!
As if the normal creepy crawlies aren't disgusting enough. Spear! Pierce the evil!
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop it.
Spear! Dragon Form!
Universe! Air thrust! Here goes! Water!
Try harder!
Downfall!
Negative gate!
I'm never fit! Dance in the
Dragon
wind!
Form!
Air thrust! A whirling circle! Winds of heaven!
Eternal devastation!
Damn it! Watson! Cyclone! Annihilation! Air thrust!
Eternal devastation! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Ha! Not today!
On your way! Magic is there! First
Eternal
aid!
devastation!
Holy land!
Crush!
Hear me! Flame of fury!
Plasma shot!
Strike! Illuminate the dark!
After being interrupted.
Holy blood! Holy land! Here's the heaven and earth! Freeze
Mark
Lancer!
is even wider.
I'll heal you
Soaring
all!
Light Spear!
Raging
A
Destiny!
debut performance.
Thanks so much! Healing circle! A whirling struggle!
Stardust!
Lightning! Winds of heaven!
Can you take it?
Crescent Flash!
Serious
This one's
blade!
all mine!
The abyssal
Damn
deep.
it!
Clear for us a path.
Burn!
Back into the fray!
Catapult!
Lightning! Raging Storm!
Soaring Light
Flame of
Spear!
fury! Here's another! Glacial Spear!
Raging Luna Storm!
Where are you going?
Bestow thy mystic mercy! Fairy
Lunar
Circle!
corruption!
Sword up! Allow me to help you!
Mega Ray! Annihilation!
Stardust!
Mega Ray! Wind Astral
Dance in the
Energy!
wind!
Blah blah blah! Magic! Air
On your
Try harder!
You get the gist. Hear me! Flame of
Somebody
fire!
over here!
Strike! Water! Hear my call!
Flame inside me! Good!
Another incantation doing.
Mystic mercy! Blah, 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 that's instant! No question! Divine state! Gemini Aqua! By the power of water!
Coming through! Ha! No! Scarlet Inferno!
A chain between heaven and earth!
I'm ready! Rebel!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
My astral arts are coming along quite nicely.
Coming along? What do you want to do with them?
Oh, you know.
Right, here goes!
Bring him down!
Not on my watch!
Can you take it?
You think that shield will save you?
I see one, eh?
Holy land!
Fire support!
Shine! Radiant light!
I'm regeneration! Magic is there!
Don't do that.
That's my cue!
Resonate with the earth!
Shut him
No
down!
further!
Blah, blah, blah. In here! Evil! More
Bestow
for the
thy mystic
stockpile.
mercy.
Ready!
Very
Lunar corruption! In here!
Crush! Catapult! Eternal devastation!
Spear! Pierce evil!
No dawn shall break
Sleep now!
Never enough.
Burn!
Magic is there! Sleep now! Annihilation!
Eternal devastation!
Holy land!
We're not finished!
Raging lunar storm!
You get the gist. I'll heal you all. Each day 1,000 gales. Healing circle. You do the same for me. Radiant blood. That'll bring you down. Now. Astral energy.
Say no more!
This should come in handy when crafting weapons.
Coming through!
Now you'll learn!
I'm only getting started.
Can't get out of this!
Shining supernova.
Resonate with the earth!
Eternal devastation!
Stalagmite!
How long are we gonna keep this up for exactly?
You got spirit! Plasma shot!
Lightning orb.
It's too fast! Stand back! Gotta trip it up!
Lightning condemned.
Eternal devastation!
Blah 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 magic.
I'm in your debt.
Holy land. A chain between hell. Demons descend.
Flashing fang!
Dance in the wind. How's this? Sleep now. Downfall. I'll be saving this one. Gemini
Begin.
Aqua. Annihilation. Astral energy.
Ripping you apart! Bloody howling! Negative gate!
Blah 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 magic.
Plasma shot!
Sleep now. You're mine. I'll be saving this by the power of water.
Rending you a bloody
Gemini
howling!
Aqua.
On
I
your
never
knees.
miss. Divine too much to handle.
Eternal devastation!
Now, you're frozen.
Hammer! I need to be stronger.
Those soldiers don't seem to have any qualms about attacking on sight.
Is someone making the...
Go no further.
Burn in hell!
Raging lunar storm!
Thunderblade. Illuminate
Resonate with the earth!
Holy land.
Stalagmite!
I did not attack on the handshake. Annihilation.
Rending you a bloody howling!
Burning strike.
Can't get out of this!
Steel crush. I'll heal you all.
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got it! I'll leave it to you!
Glacial canyon. More backhand cross. Blow right.
Internal devastation!
Catapult! Tempest!
Lunar
It's
eruption!
on!
Lunar
Dragon
blast!
Swarm! Burn!
I'm all stuffed up!
Breath of
I
life!
never miss!
Heal my wearied companion!
Lightning condemned!
Plasma kill!
Lunar corruption! Magic is there!
Stardust!
Gemini Holy Land! Hear me! Sleep now!
Demon Blast! Eagle Wave!
Stardust!
Mega Ray! Raging Annihilation! War with that came from! Gravitas Field! Here's the
Soaring Light Spear!
Raging Cascade! Freezing
Hurricane
Storm!
Thrust!
Fresh! A whirling sky!
Hurricane
Tornado!
Take
Another incantation ruin.
Here I come!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Raging Cascade! Mega Ray! Annihilation!
Burn!
Mega Ray!
Benediction Light!
This one's mine!
Heal!
Soaring Light
Arrow
Spear!
Squall! Gemini Aqua!
Take to the abyssal deep! Clear heart!
Vanquish Radiant Pierce!
Negative
Hear
gate!
me!
Resonate with the art!
Searing Titan!
On your
And that's
knees!
thy will!
Soaring Light
Flare
Spear!
Tornado! Searing Tempest! And that's thy will! This isn't ideal! You get the death! Holy No more playing nice! There! Gravitas Field! I'm all Armament Ranger! Here's a healing art!
This one's all mine!
On your knees!
Arrow Squall! Freezing Storm!
Air pressure!
Ice Tornado! It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming Wildfire!
Bestow thy mystic mercy!
Eternal
Lightning
Devastation!
condemned!
Not
First
today!
aid!
Fairy circle!
Winner! A whirling dancing lightning! This one in here! Where are you going?
Demon Lance! Sonic Spear!
Flame! Reload!
Tornado Blast!
More where that came from!
Raging Lunar Storm!
Ah! Plasma
Dance in the
Shock!
wind! Confiscated! By the power of water! Do it! Law! Demons descend!
Flashing Fang!
My exploits are bearing fruit.
Retreat if you know what's good for you!
Hear me!
Let
Flame
free!
of fury!
Still
Take
alive.
that! Water! Hear my call!
Ah! Not today!
Whirling spread!
Leave the Admiral once to me. Shine! Radiant light!
Regeneration!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah! Totally to me! You get
I owe you
the
one.
Brave Lancer! Holy Land!
On your knees.
Blah blah blah! Annihilation! Mega Ray! Here's a healing art!
Rending you a bloody
Oh, nothing back!
Winds of heaven!
Stardust!
Cyan Instant!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
breath of
A
life!
whirling
Heal my
struggle!
wearied companion!
Eternal
Winds of
Devastation!
guidance!
Try
One
harder!
force!
Let us take
Plasma
I
this
never
Shock!
miss! Radiant Blast!
Shine!
Try harder!
Radiant light!
Oh, violent guiding wind! Carve now the wall! You're free now!
Hold nothing back! Plasma Shock!
Sealed!
Don't suffer
Radiant
in
Pierce! Here's a healing art!
Elusive
First aid!
deity!
In here!
Plasma Shock!
Sealed! I'm all stuffed up! Lightning!
Bestow thy mystic mercy!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Bestow thy mystic mercy!
Ah! Eat dirt!
Blade! Lunar corruption! Sweet dreams!
Plasma Shock!
Radiant
On your
Pierce!
knees.
The roar! Damn it! Burning out of it! Blah blah blah! Air thrust! Blah blah blah!
Plasma Shock!
Downfall!
Rending
This
you a
one's
bloody
wrong!
Stardust!
Lord Lunar corruption! Lunar blast!
Plasma Shock!
They really made us work for that one.
Retreat if you know what's good for you.
Here, let me help.
On your knees.
I'm going in!
Resonate with the arc.
You got the wrong fight!
Annihilate seal! More with that! You won't play nice!
The enemy wields arc too.
We'll soon see about that! Freeze laser!
Hurricane thrust!
Here goes! I never miss!
Raging
Bursting joy! Neon! Astral energy! Full throttle! Go! Hear me! Flame
Shine!
of fury!
Radiant light!
Raging storm! Here's evil!
Eternal
Freeze laser!
It's
Don't
on!
suffer in silence.
The flame of here's the healing art!
On your knees.
Air raid! Blah blah blah! None shall escape my judgment!
Shock!
I'll be saving this one! Ray!
Make the abyssal deep.
Here,
Clear for us a path.
Burn in hell!
First aid!
Aqua serpent! Plasma shock!
Holy flame! Sleep now, take it! I'll be
Raging
over.
lunar
This is
storm.
Ray.
Plasma shock!
Here goes!
Start up!
I'm ready.
Doubling! In an instant! Impact cross!
I'm ready for the next battle. Get lost!
Resonate with
For
the
my lord!
laser sight.
Raging storm!
Plasma shock!
Confiscated!
Take down their defenses! Start up!
A whirling struggle! Radiant
Hurricane shock!
Winds of heaven! Burst forth!
Plasma shock! It's on!
More for the sideline! Mega ray!
Burn!
Release.
Lightning order!
Plasma shock! Start up! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Radiant here! That's ordered! Here's a healer!
Eternal Devastation!
Here's evil! Freeze laser!
Eternal Devastation!
Here's a healing art! First aid!
Hurricane Thrust!
Searing flame!
Regeneration. Take this.
Lightning orb!
Take it. Won't save you.
Healing weapon is here! Here's evil!
Toyoyo!
I'll be saving this one!
Where are you going?
Plasma shock! The flame inside! Any more of this and I'll burn out!
Arts are being interrupted.
Lightning
Try
orb!
harder!
More where that came from!
Eat their life!
Blah blah blah! Here's evil!
I'm ready! Doubling! In an instant! Impact cross!
Raging cascade!
Pieces.
I owe you. Annihilator! Radiant
Plasma
flash!
shock!
A wailing bear here! Let me help!
Start up!
I'll grind you into stone.
I'm ready!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was Sovereigns only.
Alphen.
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
What?
What the?
Alphen.
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Dahnan. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for, let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dana. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
What the hell just happened?
That vision. Did everyone else see it too?
That person Alphen was speaking to, she looked exactly like Shion.
It was Naori. Naori Imaris. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past?
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Dahnan astral energy rushing over us.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dana's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegus. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Shion, you okay?
Yeah. It was all just a little sudden. That's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past. Do you think you can handle it?
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to answers about your thorns.
Alphen.
That's not all. This whole time, we've been fighting to free Dana from the Renans. But now that we're here, it seems those same Renans might have it just as bad. I'd like to liberate them too if I can. Which is just another reason I can't afford to shield my eyes from the truth.
Whether you're on Dana or somewhere else, you always stay the same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect, they're all hardwired into you. Not that I'm complaining. Come on, let's bust this thing wide open.
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp. After that last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in here.
Faria, how did you get in here?
Wait, something about her isn't right.
What's wrong with her? She doesn't even seem to know where she is.
Yeah, you're right. She looks just like the soldiers we encountered outside.
A summoning?
But that's preposterous. She never had that kind of power when—
We can talk later. Here it comes!
What? I've never known Faria to control Zugals like that before.
How about with a stone that looks suspiciously like a master sword?
What the? Where did she get her hands on that?
First we handle the Zugals. Then we get some answers.
Go for the weak point! Maybe this one.
Soaring light spear!
Begin!
Lightning sword! I never miss! More where that came
Take
from!
this!
Raging cascade! Freezing storm! Raging cascade!
Try harder!
Ice tornado! A whirling
Plasma
storm!
shock!
Winds of burden!
Everlasting
Plasma shock!
Sealed!
Negative gate!
Gemini aqua!
This one's all mine!
You apart! Bloody howling!
Raging storm! More where that came from!
You picked the wrong fight!
Puddle!
Eternal devastation!
Sorry,
Eternal devastation!
Illuminate the dark! Come forth, holy glimmer! This one's mine! Between heaven and earth!
Tempest engulfs you!
A wailing
Time to let it rip!
Clear for us a path!
Divine
Eternal devastation! It's too much! Eternal devastation! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Dance in the wind!
The
That'll bring you down!
In
Here!
Heat like free!
More for the stockpile!
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me!
Got you! Leave it to you! Eternal devastation!
Magic is there!
Crush!
Sleep now!
Now! While it's reeling!
Take it down! Saving this one! Magic!
Kill you!
Plasma dance in the wind!
Try harder!
Shine! Radiant
I'll be
light!
saving this one!
Can't get out of this!
Here's a healing art! Thunder blast!
Dragon form!
Magic is
Flaming
there!
tide will yours to be let free!
Holy land!
Dance in
Moving
the wind!
mountains!
Plasma
Sealed
shot!
in my aqua! I'll be saving this one! Do it!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
Snake of the
One
abyss
more!
of deep.
I never met more where that came from!
Plasma shock!
Magic is here! Here! You
Soaring light spear!
Hear my call! Blah, blah, blah! Spread
It's gonna attack!
Right, watch out!
Shine. Radiant
Dance
light.
in the wind!
Of
Sweet
regeneration.
breeze
Regenerate.
Take
Take
this!
See what I can do!
Blah, blah, blah!
Let us
That's
take to the
burning!
fray.
Searing flame! Reload! I'm out of ammo!
Not today!
Lightning aid! Thunder blade! I'm all set! Annihilation!
Negative
Here!
damage.
Holy land! You get to death! Water! Hear my hell! Blood! Will this help? Dance in the wind!
Everlasting darkness.
Hand throttle!
Negative damage.
Can't end here!
I couldn't make it in time.
Hands locked together! Eat the dark! Annihilation!
Bloody howling.
Ready
and raring.
I'll bring you raging justice!
Raging no further.
Resuscitation! Better!
Resonate with the earth. Stalagmite. On your
Healing
knees.
circle! Sorry! Need to pull myself
Try
together!
harder!
By the power of
Imbue
water!
this vanquished
Lightning!
soul with life.
Searing
Try
flame!
harder!
Resuscitation.
Lightning! Still got some fight left in me. Healing art! That'll bring you down! Burning fight! Here, let me help! First aid! Thanks!
Dragon Swarm! Plasma shock! Stay away from my friends!
From beyond. Imbue this vanquished soul with From beyond. Imbue this vanquished soul with life. Resuscitation.
I can carve through armor! You picked the wrong fight!
Still got some fight left in me!
Eternal devastation!
Healing
Raging
circle! Didn't think you had it in you!
Focus. There'll be time to congratulate me later.
Nothing much I can say to that! First force!
Shine. Radiant
Dragon
light.
Swarm!
Of regeneration.
It's weakened! Stockpile!
This
Regenerate.
ends now!
More with that dance throw! Thanks so much! That move!
The abyss
Here
of
comes the big one!
Here's a healing art!
It's on! Try harder!
Corrosion!
Resonate with the
Flame
earth.
of steel!
Forgive me. This is my fault. Bloody howling.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss! Resuscitation!
Eternal devastation!
Searing flame! I've still got some fight left in me!
Can't get out of this.
Illuminate the dark! Come forth, holy glitter!
I'll
Into the
smash
shadows!
you.
Holy land!
Flash.
A chain between heaven and earth! Shield! Seminar Alpha! In here!
Soaring light
Not
spear!
on my watch!
Catapult.
Stardust!
Let the marksman handle this! I'm all set! I never miss!
Raging Luna
You
Storm.
picked the wrong fight!
Here's a healing art!
I'm ready! Rebel!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
Now it's just her. Faria, can you hear me? Faria.
She's preparing another summoning!
The art she's casting is way too powerful to control. At this rate, her body won't be able to take much more. Dohalim!
Forgive me.
Man, I thought we were goners.
Everything okay?
Yes. She's only unconscious.
Not her. I meant you.
Shion, please. Can you treat her?
I can try, but I can't promise she'll be back to her real self when she wakes up. All I can do is heal her physically.
We're not even supposed to be in here. Maybe it'd be better if we moved her to somewhere a little safer. Don't you think?
In that case,
I'll take her off your hands.
You?
Avakir, what are you doing here?
I was curious what you were up to, so I took the liberty of following you to find out. I overheard what you said about Tarnigan, about how he really died. I'm sorry, I had no idea.
And you believed me? What makes you so sure I wasn't lying?
I like to think I know you a little better than that, Dohalim. Give me some credit. I'll take Faria. Leave her with me. I know better than to ask what you're up to. But whatever it is, I hope it all works out.
Thank you.
He seems like a good friend.
He hasn't changed. He never was one to stand out. Instead, he was always hanging back, worrying about everyone else. As for Faria, it's always the closest to me who get hurt.
You don't seriously blame yourself for what happened to her, do you?
Somebody got to her, to strike back at me. Someone who knew me well enough to know that I'd hesitate to fight back. And the same goes for you as well. Neither you nor Faria would have lost loved ones, if it wasn't for me.
You're wrong. Kelzelik was the one who killed my brother, under orders from Almadria. As for Tarnagin, if it weren't for the crown contest, he'd still be alive. That and the whole damn hierarchy that makes it possible. But that's why we're fighting. To put an end to this whole messed up system that treats people as expendable.
Indeed. Ridding society of this blight is really the only way I know how to atone for my sins.
You can't atone, Dohalim. I know it hurts to hear, but those people are dead. No amount of soul-searching or trying to make amends is going to change that. Forgiveness, acceptance, those ships have sailed.
So I just forget the harm I caused?
No, the opposite, in fact. You remember. You never forget. You keep it in your heart always. And then you go on living. Not for those already past, but for those still alive.
For those still alive.
Kisara's right. So long as we've still got breath in our bodies, we can make a difference in the lives of others. Lives being the operative word.
That's what living's all about. Being able to still make a difference. Punishing yourself for the past won't make the pain of your conscience go away.
Only fixing the problem in its stead. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. You have to live for tomorrow, Dohalim, not for yesterday. And not only that, you need to live for yourself, and for the change that you still can be.
I shall try.
Don't forget, we've still got a mystery to solve. The Forbidden Zone, remember?
Shion,
Huh?
thank you. You have my deepest gratitude for what you did for Faria.
Glad to be of service.
I'm glad we could stop Faria without hurting her.
You all did much for her as well. I'm most grateful.
Oh, shucks. We're on the same team, right? Let's move on.
Do you think Faria was really being controlled by someone?
Certainly seemed that way. The question is, who? The Red Woman?
The same person who's behind all of this, I'll bet. Whoever that is.
Brainwashed or otherwise, the feelings of resentment she holds towards me are real.
Someone used her because they knew we'd hold back. If that's not playing dirty, I don't know what is.
It does tell us one thing at least. Someone here in Lenegis is watching us. Someone who means us harm.
There's no question. That attack was meant for us alone.
By someone capable of getting inside a person and manipulating them like a weapon. We need to find whoever it is, fast.
What is it, Rinwell? Do you hear something again?
Yeah. It's that voice.
The will of Dana's astral energy.
What? There's so much astral energy. But where's it all coming from? It's almost like it's alive.
That was the spirit channeling ceremony just now. No, it was more than that.
What the hell was that? It felt like everything was on the brink of... like the whole world was seconds from...
Oblivion. It's the same vision as the one my thorns show me. A vision of impenetrable darkness that swallows up us and everything else.
An empty void. A nothing so complete and dominating that there aren't even words to describe it. The end of time.
The visions of the apocalypse you've been seeing. If I'd known how bad they were,
So, everything we just saw, those were Naori's memories, right?
That's right. It was as if her innermost thoughts were speaking directly to us. At least I know they weren't mine.
That power flowing into her, it reminds me of Shion's thorns. If they're what's responsible for all these visions she's been having, then maybe...
Maybe my thorns are made from that same astral energy?
If that is the case, we just found the missing link between your thorns and what happened here 3 centuries ago. No, more than a link. Perhaps even the very heart of the matter.
I've never felt astral energy so powerful. What was that?
If it's the same energy your thorns are made of, it must be dark astral energy, right? And isn't that something only Renans have?
Correct. Dark astral energy is possessed by Renans alone.
And when enough astral energy gathers together, it develops its own form of sentience. If so, maybe that complete oblivion is exactly what the Renan astral energy's will is wishing for. But why?
I don't know. Will can be a pretty vague thing to nail down. It's more of a feeling, just like the will of Dana.
But the will of Dana is made up of astral energy too, right? And if that's what's been showing us these visions... I don't know, should we really be getting so involved with this thing?
Dana's will would never want oblivion.
But you can't say that for sure!
Cut it out, you two. Squabbling over theories will get us nowhere.
Let's keep moving. If it's Dana's will showing us these memories, then I'm as clueless about its motives as any one of us. But if it could lead us to the truth, then I want to find out more.
Shion's right. All we can do is keep going. If these really are Naori's memories we're watching, there could be truths in them I was never aware of. And I think they may be the kinds of truths I need to confront if we're going to keep fighting.
I'm sorry about what I said earlier. Come on, let's go.
Finally, we begin to understand what the thorns are.
Yes, and their source. A ceremony that occurred 3 centuries ago.
But we still don't know how to get rid of them. I just hope we can find a way. Soon, you might very well learn the truth behind Xion's thorns, as well as my own past. I have to be ready to face anything. Whatever happens. I just need a little time first. I want to make sure I go into whatever comes next completely prepared.
That vision we saw. It was as if it was meant specifically for us.
What do you make of it? Do you still think the will of Dana might be involved somehow?
Maybe it's trying to tell us something. But what?
Well, it could be supernatural. You know, like seeing dead people, messages from beyond the grave, ghost-type stuff.
That's your grand theory? That we're being haunted? Come on, Law.
Wait. He might be closer to the mark than you think. What if a person's thoughts and deeds were to somehow become indelibly etched into the ether of a place? And what if those with a connection could then somehow pick up on them?
You think that's what it was? Some kind of message someone left here for us?
I am merely entertaining the possibility. Whether it was Dana's will, or somehow connected to the Sovereign and Maiden's powers, I do not know.
Okay, back up a sec. You're saying that if a place is full of enough astral energy, it can somehow show us events that happened centuries ago?
More to the point, how does that much astral energy gather in one place anyway? Seems unlikely it happened naturally.
Whatever it was, it survived here intact for 300 years. Whoever left it for us, the strength of their intent is beyond doubt.
The strength of their intent. Soon, he might very well learn the truth behind. I have to be ready to face anything. I'm determined to save Xion and Dana. Nothing I learn can change that. Hold up, you guys.
What is it?
I want to look through that room over there. I'm curious what we'll find.
That's the room you visited in your past, right? Sure. We can check it out. This looks like some kind of research facility.
A laboratory secreted away in the Forbidden Zone. Why am I past being surprised at this point?
Looks pretty deserted.
Let's check it out. It might give us a new lead.
I think I can make this work.
Well, can you make head or tail of it?
These are experiment records by the looks of it. Reams of them, dating back hundreds of years. Let's see. A composite being capable of controlling Danan astral energy, so as to convert its molecular and elemental makeup. The creation of a governing central figure, taking the form of a Danon. Codename Sovereign.
Sovereign.
Wait, there's more. Research into utilizing force field crystals for the purpose of stable astral energy containment. That must be the Master Core's. With all this raw data, there's bound to be records here somewhere about the Maiden and the Lords, too.
About the Lords? Why would they be on there?
Think about it. The Lord's crests are clearly of a piece with those of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. Not to mention the fact that the contenders to the crown are selected from otherwise regular Renan citizens. In other words, it may be that all Renans are unwittingly being made subject to some kind of grand scheme.
What about the Sovereign? Does it say anything else?
Where do I start? All I've read so far is the headlines. There's so much here. To sift through all of it would require specialized... Wait.
What is it? Did you find something?
It's a list of names, with the title Test Subjects, Sovereign. It's your call.
Read it.
There must be dozens of test subjects listed here. Hundreds even. All of them failures. Wait, I think I've found one that was successful. Test subject number 1273. Ethnicity, NA. Unique adjustment index, generation, NA. Given name, Alphen.
They've re-engineered me. Right here in this lab.
Alphen.
It's fine, really. What about the others? Was I the only one?
Test subject number 10105. Ethnicity, NA. Unique adjustment index, generation, NA. Given name, Volron.
Volron? But that means...
He's only Sovereign because someone made him that way too.
He's the last one. In 3 centuries worth of records, you and Volron are the only 2 subjects on whom the experiment was a success.
But what about the winners of the crown contests? Does this mean that none of them were ever crowned sovereign after all?
Upon victory, the Sovereign shall return to Rena and rule over Rena and Lenegis combined. When a new Sovereign is decided, the outgoing monarch shall relinquish their post and live out the rest of their days on Rena. So we were told. But according to these records, there have only ever been 2 Sovereigns, neither of whom had anything to do with the crown contest. It's all lies, including the part about the Sovereign residing in Rena. The crown contest was never about deciding a new ruler. It must always have been devised for some other purpose.
But even supposing that's true, someone must have been in charge for the past 3 centuries, right? If it wasn't the Sovereign, then who was it?
Crown contests have been held this whole time, in spite of the fact that there was already a Sovereign. Me. Meaning that for the past 300 years, someone out there has to have been maintaining that lie. The same person I'm willing to bet is behind all this.
The Red Woman?
It's possible. But that doesn't necessarily mean she's the mastermind behind this scheme. She could be working for someone else. Someone back on the Renan homeworld.
Either way, it's fair to say she's definitely involved somehow.
What about the data records? Is there no other information that could help us?
Not that I can see. Just file upon file of experiment results. There's nothing here about who's behind all this, or what their endgame is, unfortunately. I've barely managed to scratch the surface, mind you. You won't be able to read through it all, but you're welcome to take a look through what you can, while we're here.
I'll do that.
So this is where Alphen became the Sovereign, and Volron as well. The significance of this location would suggest...
Hey, it looks like the terminals in here turned on too.
We should look through them. They might contain valuable information.
Only 2 sovereigns in over 300 years. So why has the experiment only succeeded twice in all this time? And if that's the case, why keep on doing it? Was there really no other way? Or could there be some other reason?
Dohalim.
Forgive me.
Alphen.
I'm fine. I'm just a little shaken, that's all. I knew what I was already, so it's not like it's a surprise or anything. But it's strange. I've got all this rage inside of me, but I don't even know who it's for. I'm scared that I'll put a face to it, just to have someone to blame.
If that were to happen, then No. Then we'd help you fight it, before you ever got that far. Wouldn't we, everyone?
Yeah, we wouldn't just sit by and watch you spiral out of control.
That's right. No good can come from being consumed by hatred.
If you ever start to lose your way, you can count on us to guide you back. To remind you where home is.
And I would be happy to lend an attentive ear, should you ever have need.
Thank you, everyone. I think I'll be okay now.
For the people of Lenegis, the Forbidden Zone is the stuff of dreams. Yet here I am, standing within its hallowed halls.
It's off limits even for lords, then? Talk about an exclusive club.
Being exclusive is one thing, but how many important facilities let in only the Sovereign? Doesn't that seem a little strange?
Strange doesn't cover it. If it was only one room, maybe. But a place on this scale? How do they keep it from falling into ruin? Whoever the Sovereign is, they can't manage the upkeep of this whole place themselves.
Did no one ever talk about it when you were growing up?
No, not that I can remember. Then again, Sovereigns and Forbidden Zones weren't exactly breakfast table conversations.
The Forbidden Zone is a hallowed place, at one with the Sovereign's authority, grounds of the one true ruler who presides over all Renans. That is what we believed this place to be. No, what we were made to believe it was. But now, it is finally time to discover this area's true purpose, and why it was kept hidden behind the scenes for so long.